Yeah, hello viewers. This is Jerry's Tech. Welcome to my video today. It has been a while, and I've been away for some time, so was unable to make new videos. Please stay tuned and please like, share, and subscribe as well. Okay, today's video I need to talk about this. I came to check on this system. As you can see on the side glass, you can't find any oil there. You can't find any oil in the side glass, and this system has been running dry like this for a while. It's not that the oil is finally gone. You see, it have some quantity inside of the sump, so that is why the system is still running now. So I'm trying to check on this issue, and let me explain the reason why you could have this kind of problems. Number one reason is your return line from the evaporator to the compressor. If this return line does not have a temperature of, call it around 19 degrees Celsius to around 21 degrees Celsius, you have it that this compressor runs hot, thereby the oil evaporating, because this line is the one that helps to cool the compressor. Ow, yeah. This is the major, sorry, I just got my hands on here. So this is a major source of cooling for this compressor. It's the coolness that comes back from the evaporator that is in charge of cooling the compressor. And if the compressor is not cooled properly, what you have is that the oil in the sump starts vaporizing with rising temperature, and as they vaporize, they go into the valves. The valves starts becoming carbonized, and some gunks building up on the valves, thereby with time damaging the compressor. And as well, the coil, as you can see, this semi-hermetic compressor, the coil inside of it that is driving the compressor relies on this line as well for cooling, because as the compressor is cool, the coil is cool as well. So the coil here becomes hotter, thereby dragging more current, and with time the coil may fail. Okay, so this is number one reason. If your cooling line, that is why very, very imperative that your cooling line, your return line temperature is always as low as call it 18 to 21 is okay. All right, 18 to 21, 22 is okay, and you will not have that temperature at the first startup of your compressor. You have to wait for a while for the compressor to run, maybe call it 5 minutes before you check on those temperatures, in order to be sure that your compressor is receiving proper cooling. So again, another problem that could happen is, if in the evaporator, if you have a choke evaporator, you could have this same problem. I mean, your evaporator plugging with ice, you could have this same problem, because the oil here, because the refrigerant mixes with the oil, so the oil gets into the evaporator and it's supposed to return with the refrigerant. So if the evaporator is too cool and clogging, ice build up, that will be difficult for the oil and the return refrigerant back to the compressor to get through. By so doing, you could have this problem as well. Then another thing, the top thing on my list is that if your dryer, your receiver, if it's not working effectively the way it's supposed to work, you could have this, because when the gas and the oil comes here, this dryer tries to filter the oil, take the oil to the downside of it and pass it back to the compressor through this pipe. So if this is not happening effectively, then you could have much restriction for, from the dryer to allow the oil to go to the compressor, return back to the compressor. Again, the fourth reason why this could happen is, you see, this very this is a pressure switch. This is a low pressure switch, as you can see. If you can see, you see, suction pressure, discharge pressure. So in this case, if your set point, your controller, your temperature controller on, be it the chiller, be it the freezer, if the temperature gets to a set point and the solenoid in the system is cut off, that means there will be no gas passing, there will be no refrigerant passing to the expansion valve. I think I'll explain that. I'll show you the video. I'll include this that very video here. So there will be no refrigerant passing through because the solenoid valve has been shut, because the temperature of the area of cooling is okay enough because of due to the set point. So if it's short, normally this low pressure, the suction line is supposed to receive almost no gas, because almost no refrigerant. Let me not use gas. So because the expansion valve is no more atomizing gas into the evaporator, so there will be no suction refrigerants here. So what happens is that the suction pressure goes down rapidly towards zero set point, and when it gets to that point, this switch, this low pressure switch, is supposed to cut the compressor off. Okay, it's supposed to take the compressor off the line. The compressor is supposed to go off, because when this pressure switch senses that the suction pressure here is very low, it cuts the compressor off. So if this setting is not correct, what you have is that the compressor continues to throttle, and looking for gas, to take into the system. So the compressor will create a very serious vacuum within this line. So by so doing, if it doesn't have what to take, so it will be taking the oil vapor in the system. It will be taking it and trying to discharge it. And remember, there's no cooling coming here. So as the compressor runs, no cooling returning back to the compressor to cool the compressor. So the oil vaporizes the more. And as it vaporizes, this system, the compressor takes it and sends it into the line. So that becomes a problem over time. In some cases, you find out that your oil, your loop oil here is black, is blackened. You find out that the color has gone very dark. This could be the reason. If this switch is not properly set, you could have that same problem. Okay, I hope I made a little bit of sense. So please do like my video and share, subscribe. You could comment, then to send whatever question you have and you require some explanation. I will take time to do that. Okay, let me go to the freezer room so that you see the solenoid that I was talking about and the controller. Okay, viewers, as you could see, that was the controller unit, that the temperature of the system is set, and also we have the solenoid which the controller controls, that will restrict the liquid line from allowing gas to flow into the expansion valve. So that is that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Okay friends, as you have seen, I had to defrost the system, defrost the evaporator very well for hours. I kept it. I opened the chiller and the freezer accommodation. I opened the doors down. I made sure that I defrost the evaporator properly. So in this case now, what I do is I lock this. This is the liquid line going towards the expansion valve in the system. So I lock it. So what I do now is to pump down, because locking it now, it will get the entire gas. It will suck the entire gas and whatever is inside the line. It creates a vacuum in this line and bring it towards the compressor. So as I lock here and I start the system, what happens? Look at this gauge, we're pumping down, and also the oil will be returning. See in this case, see, the oil has started returning. I didn't charge, I didn't fill any oil in it. I only lock this in order to drag the system, drag it down. So before I remembered I was supposed to make a video of it. You can see this bubbling. Don't see that, it was, kind of dragging and bringing down. As you can see, this system, see the suction pressure is almost at zero, because I had to set the pressure gauge, the low pressure gauge, to get to the level to be able to cut the system out. As you can see, it has started and stopped again. So I will continue this for a while till I have all the oil in the line back to this system. So we don't need to charge more oil. You don't need to get another oil into the system, because if you do so, that means you will have the compressor overfilled with oil, because the oil is going nowhere since you can't find any leakage around. So that means the oil is still in the system. So it's just a way of bringing that oil back to the system. That is what you should be looking for. So even in this very case, but it wasn't really necessary, because I had to crank the expansion valve a little bit open in order to have more pressure into the line. I tried it severally, it didn't work, so I had to return the expansion valve to the normal setting. So and I decided to try vacuuming the suction line in order to see if I can get the oil back. So it was very, very successful. I got it back. So that is that for today's video. Please, as I said, like, share and subscribe. So if you have this kind of problem, you don't need to put in more oil into the system, except you find leaks, excessive leaks somewhere. If not, you overfill the system with oil. So just follow this process. Defrost your evaporator properly and make sure that everything is okay. Your expansion valve is okay. Right after defrosting, pump down the system by locking the liquid line, the liquid line to the expansion valve, to the unit. Just lock it so that the gas will return here. The compressor will tend to suck everything that is in the line and bring it back. So the oil will follow the line. The oil will come back to the system. Thank you for watching. Thank you.